So I just got back, went out, but I want to talk to you guys about something. This is more on the psychological side, and this is something that a lot of people are gonna struggle with. This is why most traders fail, and I want to talk about failure, right? In trading, you're gonna have to fail. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it's the truth. And like with anything in life, you have to fail. How else are you supposed to learn from your mistakes and actually grow, right? And especially in trading or with anything, you're not going to get it right the first try. It's going to be a lot of trial and error to, really master that skill set. So I hope you weren't coming into this thinking you're going to be a prodigy because, you know, I thought the same, and so did millions and hundreds of thousands of others too. You're not going to be a prodigy. Sorry to burst your bubble. But you're going to have to fail, and that's the only way you're going to learn, right? And yeah, sometimes it's going to be cycles of failure, but one thing that I heard back when I was starting to trade, maybe like a year in, I heard this one quote, and I didn't really understood what it meant until maybe like a month or two, because I was like, oh shoot. But a successful trader is just an unsuccessful trader that I don't know how it goes anymore. But basically, every successful trader was an unsuccessful trader. Think about it, right? You, I was in the position that you're in, right? Like every successful trader had to be a failure and really break out of that that failing cycle or whatever it may be for them, right? Every successful trader was a failure at one point and had to be. Because, bro, think about it like this. Sometimes, to be good at trading, sometimes you just haven't failed enough, right? Maybe that doesn't make sense, but think about it like this. Bro, some people don't go to the gym. Why? Because sometimes they're not even fat enough. Does that make sense? They haven't gotten to the point where they need to make that change, where they need to make that urgency, right? And that's how it's going to be with trading, right? Same thing with me. I was doing it on my own, just lollygagging around, and I didn't really like fully lock in until um, maybe a year and a half in or 2 years in, right? Now I'm 2.5 years in, so I think it was about a year and a half. But yeah, you need to like really get to the point where you have a system, you have those structures in place, and all it comes down to is relying on that and being able to discipline yourself and control your emotions. I would say that's like the pinnacle of it when you have a model that you can trust and rely on, and it's a good amount of mechanical and a little bit of your discretion, right? And to the point where it's just like, okay, how do I feel about this trade, right? Because everything's second nature. You already know what you're looking for. You already know what your bias is. All of this, everything is second nature. All it comes down to is your emotions. And once you do get into those failing cycles, losing streaks, whatever, right, it's going to come down to your discipline, to your psychology, because you will have those days where maybe you take an unnecessary loss or you take a losing trade, and oh, you saw this trade, you should have taken that one, but you took an unnecessary one. Bro, I've been there, right? But what is the profitable version of yourself? What's the higher version of yourself? How's he going to act on that? Is he going to follow his rules, or is he going to let his emotions take over and be like, "No, I need to make my money back. I need to make my money back. I need to get in on this trade. I need to get whatever trade I can get on just to make my money back." No. The version of you that's actually profitable, right? He follows his rules. He's disciplined. He's under control. He's nonchalant. He's a nonchalant trader. Okay. But no, I'm being for real though. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected. He doesn't get riled up. Oh my gosh, we're going up. Oh my gosh, we're going. No. You have to be able to be in tune with yourself and to just really, yeah, you have to be in tune with yourself and have your emotions under control. And that's why it's such a hard skill set, because people can't do that nowadays. And especially with all the distractions, all the noise outside, you know, there's other traders online. I definitely don't want you guys looking at other people and saying, oh, they caught this trade, I didn't. Oh, they made this money, I lost money. Yeah, those thoughts are gonna come by, but I mean, they come by for me, but how are you gonna act on it? How are you gonna talk yourself about it? Are you gonna let that little devil on your shoulder say, "Yeah, what are you doing? You're dumb. You should have caught that." No, I don't. And if you do, that's on you, right? Everything from here on out is on you. Like I said, I probably said this within the welcome module or the first couple modules, but when you first start, you're bound to be unprofitable without a doubt. Until you learn the skill sets, until you learn the basic fundamentals, and you actually get a grasp of what you're actually looking for. When it just comes down to your psychology, you choose to be unprofitable, right? Does that make sense? You are bound to be unprofitable once you first get in, but from there on out, it's a choice. And once I heard that, that really that's probably what made me lock in and just really dial in um, towards like it around last year. That's when I started optimizing everything, my diet, my outside life, my journaling, all of that, journaling for trading, right? I started optimizing everything, and my biggest takeaway too is, how your life outside of the charts, that will reflect on the charts itself. Meaning, if you have no discipline, if you have no structure, if you have no system outside of your life, you're just lollygagging, gooning. I don't know, just doing pointless stuff, not doing anything, chilling in your bed, doom scrolling, whatever. If you're not disciplined, you have no system and structure. How do you expect yourself to actually have a process and be disciplined on the charts? You can't. There's no profitable trader that actually rots outside of the charts like that. None. If you find them, bring them to me. I will applaud you, but there is none, and I can say that with a lot of conviction and a lot of confidence. Right, so you need to be dialed in on your outside of life, and I will definitely help you guys out with that. Whether it comes down to, your outside work, your routines, you know, going to the gym. We can definitely curate a fitness thing for you guys because, it's always good to stay in shape, look good, be in the best movement prime of your life, right? So that will also say a lot as well. But back to what the main thing about this is: failure. It's bound to happen. You need it to happen. And, you know, how are you going to take failure is the biggest thing, right? And whenever you do fail, you have to think and operate as the higher version of yourself. Can't throw fits, you can't complain, because, bro, you think the higher version of yourself is throwing fits and complaining? No. No, you really have to, okay. You have to analyze, you have to reflect. Okay, I took this loss because of XYZ. I felt this way. Okay, it's not going to happen again, right? Sure, sounds easy, but guess what? It's probably going to happen once, twice, or even a couple more times, right? And there will be a breaking point, but honestly, I don't think there should be, especially with, me in your corner and all these other guys in the community, right? I'm not going to let that happen, and I sure as hell hope you don't let it happen. So that's why I'm hammering this from the start. You have to create systems. You have to create rules. Bro, this is going to be so rewarding. Trust me. It's going to give you the life that you want, that you desire. Uh, there's no other way to put it. It's definitely doable. I feel like I'm on the slight exponential curve before that just, you know, exponential takeoff. I can feel it. This year is it, right? Sure, like even with January wasn't my best month. It was break even. It was bad price action, but I was able to still navigate around it and manage my risk, not blow accounts, not get too emotional. And that's where the real traders are probably are no, not probably. That's where the real traders are definitely made, right? Where you can really thug out in those type of conditions, follow your rules, follow your edge, not blow accounts, burn money, and emotionally down spiral, right? So, trust me, I've had days where it just feels like I killed someone, legitimately murdered someone, like because I broke rules, because I over leveraged, over traded. That's what it feels like to me. Because guess what? The only way I can tie why I say murder someone is because you can't undo those actions of overtrading, blowing accounts within a day, breaking your rules, and now you just have to go on about your day like nothing happened. To me, that's just like killing someone. And I remember the last time that happened. That's it. I felt horrible, and I don't want you guys feeling that way. And there's really no point you should, because you're everything. I'm gonna get you guys dialed in, without a doubt. I'm gonna have you guys trading so mechanically and discretionally. Yeah, this is what I wish I had, right? So I'm so excited for you guys. I'm happy. I'm ready. I'm glad you guys want to work with me. I'm gonna put so much energy and push you guys to your limits, because I want that. I wouldn't be a coach if I was doing that. A coach or a mentor, whatever you guys want to address me as. But yeah, you're gonna fail. Expect to fail, but I expect you guys to learn from it, to get back up from it, and keep pushing through, right? Because there will be times where you might want to give up on yourself, but you gotta think about that higher version of yourself. I'm being so for real. Like, think about that higher version of yourself. Is he gonna give up? Is he gonna be a loser and give up? Is he gonna quit? You're telling me you're gonna quit after all this? No, we're not quitters. We're failures, but we learn from our failures, therefore making us successors. Okay, that sounded weird, but no, you have to learn from your failures. Um, so be ready. Be ready to learn. Be ready to grind. Be persistent, right? I don't care if you have motivation, because motivation runs out. What you need is discipline, and I'm here to give you that. You need discipline and systems, and that's how you're going to get through this and through life. So I'm so excited for you guys. As always, your homework is to do some reflecting. Go journal, go on a walk, and really try to find some habits you have to work on, whether on the charts. Obviously, we're going to work on that, but also outside of your life, right? What could you optimize? What could you do better? What is the higher version of yourself making the money you want, living the life you want? What is he doing? What's optimized about his life? So I will leave you guys with that. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But that's a little psychology video right there. So I will see you guys later.